Alright, cut the whining right there. Hey guys, this is Grinding It Up number 83. Long time no see. I'm finally back. I have been on travels. I was in Munich for 2 days last week. Did a little bit of live commentary for the EPT Grand Final, Monte Carlo. That was really exciting and a lot of fun, I gotta say, especially because there was a pretty big cash game going on that night that I was there. So I arrived on Wednesday, and they had this 500 euro, 1,000 euro no limit cash game that had Ike in it. Ike was there, Jungleman, Ivy. You can actually see it on PokerStars.tv. Go check that out. It was quite interesting. There were a couple of very cool spots in there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I did the commentary for 2 days. I couldn't do any grinding, so I took a little bit of a break. Then I had some family stuff to take care of on the weekend, so I couldn't grind on Saturday. I did a little bit of a Sunday grind. Took a shot at the 900th million tournament, 900 billionth tournament on PokerStars, the $109 one. Took it out of the Grinding It Up bankroll, I gotta admit, so we lost a couple of bucks over there, I'm afraid, and I didn't win it back. Got it in with a flush and got called by a set, and it didn't hold. Well, apart from that, I cashed in the bigger 22, and I also cashed in the Sunday Storm, but just for like a couple of bucks. So overall, I think I lost a total of $100, so one stack on Sunday. Then on Monday, I still couldn't recover from the Grinding It Up downswing. I was hashtag grinding it down. So we get to introduce a brand new hashtag, which is hashtag grinding it down. Feel free to use it, but please don't use it very often. I'm not planning to use it very often either, but you know, in stretches like these, yeah, why not? Why not? A little whine from time to time, that's perfectly fine, but we need to stay motivated, and we gotta get pumped to start grinding it up again. Apart from that, got a fun story relating to grinding it down. So I was talking to Ray yesterday, one of my students and the infamous inventor of the penalty button. And he was saying, Felix, you're not running that well in grinding it up, are you? And I'm like, how could you tell? I haven't put up a new video yet. And he's like, well, you know, you usually post boom links of your hands on Facebook. And there were no boom links yesterday. And you were grinding yesterday. And you were also not on travels, because if you're on travels, you're usually posting about it or putting up pictures from your travels. So that can only mean one thing: downswing. And yeah, that was absolutely right. So perfect read, Ray. Great stuff. Didn't put up any boom links because, you know, it's just the stuff when beats happen or spots happen that I just can't go around. There's no point in posting them. And I was telling you guys the beginning of the project that I wouldn't be showing you displaying any sorts of beats, coolers, setups, whatever. I did do that a couple of times, I have to admit, so I'm guilty of that. But I try not to. So it's, you know, it's something that can't be avoided anyways, and you can't change the weather, so why complain about it? Well, so what am I going to do in today's episode? Let me think. There were a couple of suggestions. Some people suggested I should be doing some MTT live streams, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to actually do that because the Scoop is coming up. Scoop is next on PokerStars. It's going to start around the 4th of May, I think, and I'm going to be playing the low and some of the medium events. I'm not going to play it on a Grinding It Up roll, but I'm definitely going to stream it on Twitch. So I'm going to use the Twitch stream to put up some Scoop streams, and I'm going to be focusing on Scoop most exclusively, and a little bit of Grinding It Up, of course, the beginning of May, because in the middle of May I'm gonna go to the States and to Las Vegas. So yeah, looking forward to that. Another month of some hopefully awesome experiences. We're gonna go into Arizona and Utah and California and do a big road trip with a family. And also stop over at Las Vegas for maybe some World Series shenanigans. Not sure yet. Maybe also just some cash games, but not sure about that. So focus is definitely not on poker in this trip. But, well, so the month of May is not going to be under the sign of grinding it up. It's more under the sign of vacationing it up. So I'm sad to say, grinding it up has to go on hiatus again. I'm gonna do 2 more episodes before I leave, so that's next week and the week after. But I think they're mostly gonna be on Scoop. So I'm gonna be keeping you guys posted whenever I go live on Twitch. Just follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and you'll know. So for this episode, I was going to just go through the biggest grinding it up pot that I played, and that was so heavily discussed on Facebook. I put it up as a boom link on Facebook. You can check it out over there as well. You can also check out the comments. There were some very good ones that I found. Trying to analyze the spot, so you can check that out. I wanted to give you guys my view on the hand. It's actually the biggest pot in grinding it up history that I've played since I started the project, and it was a $450 something pot, and we're going to look at it right now. So here we go. That's the hand I was talking about, and before even starting, I think one of the biggest mistakes in that hand, and we're going to see that at the end as well, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, is that I stayed at the table with a 200 big blind stack size. I think I shouldn't have done that, because my bankroll at the time was 3,400, and taking a $200 blow would be quite devastating. So wise decision would have been leave the table, start fresh. What did Flix do? He stayed at the table and played on. And then he was getting into a spot with a recreational player, and we're going to see that right there. So we got an open raiser under the gun, who's a regular, and we got this recreational player right here. And he's quite a loose guy, and I've got a couple of notes and reads on him, so I'm pretty happy to have played the hand with him. Not happy about the result though, but well, yeah, let's get to the point. I mean, I'm going to tell you my thoughts and why I was pretty happy to get the money in. So many people were commenting like, this is a pretty easy fold on your part and a pretty bad call, I think. So I squeeze it up pre-flop, nice and big. I try and isolate the recreational player, which happens, he calls. And another regular flats behind him, who's also pretty deep. So, you know, I've got ace-king against a recreational player and a regular. He's going to have a straightforward range of, like, you know, pocket pairs, suited connector type hands. Since he was the overcaller, he's going to have a lot of speculative stuff, so I'm not really worried. If he outflops me, he'll let me know, so I can get away against this guy, but I'm pretty happy flopping top pair, top kicker against this guy. And that's what I do. So I proceed to flop top pair, top kicker, and I go ahead and bet half pot. And then he goes ahead and just like that, snap ships without even thinking. 1 second, less than 1 second, money goes in. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, please, player 6, fold, fold, so I can call. I mean, if player 6 now calls, I have an easy fold, of course. But if player 6 folds, I would be ecstatic to call. I would be super ecstatic, and I can tell you why. Because this guy, player 5, is a recreational player. Well, let's see. So he folds, and I'm calling it off. So this player 5 is a recreational player, and a lot of people were questioning the call, and I can definitely understand questioning the call. I think the biggest questioning in this hand is kind of looking at it in a sense of I've got top pair, top kicker in a deep stack situation, and I should be, you know, very cautious with top pair type hands in deep stack situations. And I would advise any of my students or anybody to be cautious when being 150, 200, 250 big blinds deep and just flopping top pair. It's the type of hand that will get crushed a lot. But in this particular spot, I was pretty happy to get it in. I mean, I was not super thrilled, of course, but I was pretty much looking at this guy, looking at his play and his line, his betting line, his timing on the shove, and I would say that he's gonna have, you know, he's gonna have a flush draw so often here, and he's not gonna have a set of 3s or 5s that often, because most of the recreational players are gonna slow play it, and they're not gonna ship it. They're either gonna min raise it on the flop, or they're just gonna call and slow play it, because it's also a board that's kind of, you know, the texture doesn't really allow for anything. You don't need to protect from anything, and even recreational players realize that. And I don't think they're going to shove if they want to call. I think they shove when they want to fold, or they shove stuff that they're not really sure of. He might even have the same hand, or he might even have king queen. So to put this into perspective here, yeah, let's see. So I got the ace of clubs and the king of hearts. and I'm going to put him on a wide range. Since he flatted preflop, I expect him to flat preflop even against a big squeeze like that with a lot of speculative stuff. I think he's definitely going to have a lot of combo draws like, 6-4 diamonds, 7-6 of diamonds. Then there's ace deuce of diamonds. There's ace 3 of diamonds. There is ace 4 of diamonds. And I even think there's more flush draws than that because I don't block any. I don't even have a diamond in my hand, so he can have all the diamond draws. He can have, he can have ace jack of diamonds, ace queen of diamonds. I think this is definitely possible. I mean, I'm not sure if he treats the non-nut flush draws the same way. I just feel like if he has the nut flush draw, he's going to think, well, I've got one overcard, I've got the nut flush draw, I'm just going to go all in. So I'm just going to give him some nut flush draws there. That makes sense. And I pretty much discount the sets. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious that against that range, I'm going to be not a huge favorite, but I am a favorite. The only problem is that I'm 200 big blinds deep, so I shouldn't be in that spot. For 100 big blind stack, this would be an easy stack off, would be a variance heavy spot, and it is a variance heavy spot, of course. But I've invested money, and I think I'm making a plus EV call here. So I got to call off another 170 for 340, so it's roughly about getting 1 to 2 odds. I think I need around 36 to 38% equity or so. Well, even if I put pocket 3s in his range, maybe even pocket 5s, I think it may become closer then. Yeah, it becomes a lot closer if I add the set combos in there. But I think, well, if I add the set combos, I would also go ahead and add the other nut flush draw combos. So if I add another nut flush draw combo, the more nut flush draw combos I add here, the closer it becomes, of course. It does remain a pretty close spot, but I'm discounting the sets here. I'm really discounting the sets. And I think it doesn't change much now. Yeah, it doesn't change much. I mean, I'm discounting the sets because people, even recreational players, they will be thinking more with their sets what to do. They're going to call, slow play sometime, then min raise sometime, but not jam. I mean, he might even overlook stack sizes, and if he has the same hand, I wasn't even thinking about the same hand. So if we put the same hand in there, of course it's going to get a lot more neutral. But if we then add the 5s and 3s again, I think it's going to be a lot more of a call. Yeah, I mean, even if we put the sets in there and we've got the same hand that I have, he might even be overplaying a worse king some of the time. He might be overplaying something like king queen, just because with a top pair type hand he just wants to protect. But then again, if I say he slow plays the 3s and 5s, he's probably not going to get very aggressive with king queen, but with ace king he might. So yeah, I mean, it is a close spot, and I think it's a variance heavy spot. I do think I made a plus EV call in that spot, but my biggest mistake of the hand, I mean, calling was definitely not a mistake, but I think my mistake in the hand was pretty much staying at the table while being 200 big blinds deep. If I had the bankroll, if I had double the bankroll, I would always make this call and be happy about it. No doubt about that. And, well, he had a set of 5s. Well, that's how far, as far as reads are concerned, this is sometimes it can just go horribly wrong. And yeah, I mean, I just stuck with it. I would be lying if I said I wasn't ecstatic about calling here in that spot. It was a pretty huge pot. It was the biggest pot in grinding it up history, and yeah, I lost it. Well, it happens, and I hope I can start grinding it up again. Right, that was the hand. On another note, I know that some of you guys want to install the Bellagio chips, and I got a little bit of a goodie here for you guys, because one of our followers, Justin, who also made this nice little PokerStars beanie here, if you remember him, Justin, haven't forgotten that you have contributed to this challenge already so much, and you've made yet another contribution, which is install Bellagio chips on PokerStars. It's a YouTube tutorial that Justin made, so go check that out. Just type install Bellagio chips on PokerStars. I gotta subscribe to his channel. I commented on the video. I'm gonna put it into the playlist. So I'm gonna put it into the grinding it up playlist here. Maybe maybe favorites. So check out my favorites. It's under there. It's a tutorial how to install the Bellagio chips, because so many people had questions on how to do that. Well, I think apart from that, we're pretty much done with episode number 83. No time for live session. I gotta get going, make some more VPPs. I got 1,000 more VPPs to do, and I'll try and get that graph back up again. So yeah, let's have a quick final look at the graph. Here we go. Yeah, we got to subtract another 400. It goes somewhere here. So it really nasty. Well, what can we do? We got to start grinding it up again. Be motivated, be pumped. Let's go, everybody. Let's do this. Right, so that's it for now. I'll see you guys maybe over at Twitch. Not sure when I'm going to start the next live stream. Maybe this week, maybe next week. But definitely when the scoop comes around. So check that out. Go to Twitch, subscribe to XFlix Team PokerStars. I think that's my name over there. XFlix _ Team PokerStars. Go check that out and keep grinding it up.